All right, welcome everybody. Good morning. Yay. I want to make sure you guys can all hear me okay, and you guys can see both screens all right? Okay, good. I got thumbs up in the back, so that's great. Thank you so much. All right, so welcome to Clear Lake Integrated Science Symposium 2024. My name is Angela DePalma-Dow. I work in the Watershed Protection District, Water Resource Department at County of Lake. My co-coordinator here is Dr. Janine Pfeiffer, and we've been planning this for about a year with a lot of help, and we're really excited it came down to this day. So we're here, we have 2 days, science-packed fun, so thank you so much for joining us. There we go, okay. So we're going to start off with some thanks for this event. Sponsors and supporters, couldn't have done this without you. Making sure everything was supported and paid for and able to put off this event. And then our event planner, Abby Lou Presents. She did a great job checking in everybody today, so thank you, Abby Lou, and her staff. Of course, money is everything, right? And our accountant, Jackie Storrs, not only was doing her day job in managing the department and the district accounting, but then I added a whole nother project onto her workload. So thank you, Jacqueline. Our tech magician over here, we have Sam. So Sam, if you watch the Board of Supervisors meetings or Water Quality Wednesdays, he's an integral part of all of those going off splendidly for the technical side. So thank you, Sam, for making sure all this happened. And then all the district staff at Watershed Protection District Water Resources that also helped out this event, and the volunteers that we have out front and throughout the event that are going to be helping everybody. So thank you, everyone, for your support. So we have some fun logistics, and Janine, did you want to? Okay, I'm going to take over some of the fun logistics stuff for you here.
So welcome to everyone. Quick show of hands, how many people have been to the Robinson Rancheria Casino before in your life? Sweet. Okay, everybody look around. Those are the people who are going to tell you where the bathrooms are. But I'm also going to tell you, and it's okay if you forget. So there's a set of restrooms immediately outside these doors, and to the left, that is if you do not want to pass any slot machine, well, relatively few slot machines. If you want to pass more slot machines, go all the way down to the very back of the gambling room, and they're on your right. If you want both slot machines and smoke when you go to the restroom, continue down to the bingo hall. There is a gift shop here. That is where coffee, espresso drinks, pastries, etc., desserts. If you are flagging, you need sugar, that's where you go. Lunch is going to be provided today, sandwiches. If the sandwiches are not to your liking, there is another cafeteria where they have pre-made sandwiches and other food. They're a little slow, but you have an hour, so you should be fine. Another show of hands, how many people have been to the Habema Tolel meeting room? Okay, hold those high. Now these are very special people, very. And we'll talk about other very special people in a minute, but these very special people are gonna help you interpret this map. If you didn't get a map, there's some more on the table. Because we have so many scientific presentations to show you, in the afternoon, we're dividing into 2 sessions. Half the folks stay here, half the folks go to Upper Lake to the Habema Tolel meeting hall. If you are unfamiliar with how to spell that or pronounce that, look for the Blue Wing Saloon, Tallman Hotel. It's 1 block south. And there are 3 different parking locations because Upper Lake is a tiny little town. We all like to drive cars, and so this delineates where those parking spaces are. Now, if you have a microscope or a magnifying glass, you can look at the schedule. We're nerds. Do we know how to make big fonts? Kind of, sort of. Everything that says HPUL, that is the acronym for Habema Tolel and for the meeting hall. Okay, back to you, Angela.
Thank you so much, Janine. And she talked about Habema Tolel, so this is the map. They're 4 minutes apart. So leaving from here on Highway 20, turn right up into the beautiful, quaint little town of Upper Lake there. And this is what the maps are. We did not print enough maps for everybody because some of you guys are local, but if you haven't been here before and need those, there are maps available. We do have a Thursday night reception poster session in here. So the way the room looks right now is going to be 100% transformed to be a mingle networking station with lots of poster presentations. It's your chance to talk directly with the researchers and managers. We will have a mocktail bar in the back. There is also a liquor bar on premises, and then we'll also have small plates provided by Saucy Bowls, which is an up-and-coming woman-owned catering business here in Lower Lake. And thanks to our sponsors for this event, which is the Westside Sacramento Integrated Regional Water Management Group, Eutrophics, and AES. So thank you so much to our sponsors for that reception. And then tomorrow evening, we're going to have the science film called Big Lake, Big Science, and this is down in Lakeport. So we're up here in Robinson Rancheria, Highway 20, then to the cutoff, and then down to Lakeport. And in the cute little town of Lakeport, right by the lake, is Soper Reese Theater. And so the doors will be open at 6 p.m. and 7 o'clock showing, and there will be concessions being sold, and all the proceeds will be going to Soper Reese. So this is tomorrow evening, Friday, to round off the week and start your weekend off right. So a little background about this meeting, the purpose. It's pretty historic. So we're going to talk about the recent research and science behind water quality monitoring, the lake and landscape management that's going on, also going to be going on in the near future, any conservation restoration within the watershed, within the lake, and the last dedicated Clear Lake Science Symposium that was here in Lake County was in 1997 and 1998. So it's been 25 years, and this is actually what the covers of the proceedings look like. They're on a shelf, nice and dusty up there in the Water Resource Department, if anybody ever wants to come up and look at them. And so 25 years is a long time. We'd rather not go another 25 years before we have another event like this. And this meeting came out. Last year we were at a scientist meeting at UC Davis talking about the Clear Lake Hitch, which we have a hitch session tomorrow in this room starting at 2:30, I believe. And it really came out during that meeting that we need a comprehensive place where all the science that's going on can be presented and be put together. If we really want to understand how to save the hitch and allow the hitch to recover, we have to know about the place that they live, what's going on. And that involves all the science in the lake and the watershed. We also felt it was the role of the Watershed Protection District to fill that because the Water Resource Department and the Watershed Protection District work together, the same staff, same building. Water Resources was given the stewardship of the lake by the state of California, and the Watershed Protection District governs and regulates aspect within the watershed. We're a public agency, so it made sense for us to be able to host this event. We had 2 planning meetings with a variety of managers and researchers. A lot of them are presenting over the next 2 days, and those were in November and April, November 2023, April of this year. And then we also released a community participation survey. So we had received a lot of photos from that survey of who was interested in wildlife in the Clear Lake Basin. We really want to have another symposium in 5 years, maybe 10 years, but definitely not 25 years. So the goal of this is to have it more frequently. And these are all the participants, oh man, okay, that are going to be presenting today. So I think this is a pretty good group of agencies and folks that are going to be here that are represented of what's going on in the watershed and what's going on next. So thank you everybody for participating. If you have any questions or you were looking for any materials now and in the future, particularly the links for the recordings, presentations, the proceedings, it'll all be on our website here under Clear Lake Integrated Science Symposium 2024, so you can go search for that. And then we're also live streaming, and we have digital abstracts that are on our website right now. Also, the live streaming information is all on our website too. So if, say you have to leave and go do something, or somebody wants to know what's going on at the symposium, you can let them know where that access information is. And then a nice reminder is we will be putting together a proceedings binder for this. You can get a hard copy printed for you, but you have to purchase that before August 31st, and that is available on the Eventbrite for this event where you register. And Janine already covered this, thank you very much. Just letting you know that this will be where the locations are in that column. And if you have any questions, you can come find me. And next we are going to have our event blessing. which I believe will be.
He's going to be here, but I can stall.
Do you want to stall? Do you have some jokes?
I do.
Supervisor Crandall is going to enlighten us with some.
Yeah, so Jaime Boggs, he's like our cultural leader here, so he's close by. And so in the meantime, I'll just go ahead and from my standpoint, I'll say a couple words. So I'll say, Chintama, Mawinawa, Makaligak, Wimashi, E.J. Crandall, E. And so what I said was, hello, my friends, my family. My name's E.J. Crandall, and thank you for being here. The land here of Robinson is, it's named after probably, I think it's our first supervisor in Lake County. I don't know if anybody knew that. He was one of, I think, 3 when it started out. This Middle Creek area that we're working on used to be called Robinson Lake and may still be. I know that Harry and I may have talked about that before, Robinson Lake. So it's interesting that I have the privilege to serve as a district supervisor for the position that Robinson, who our tribe's named after, and whatnot. And one of the unfortunate things was he was part of giving away our water rights. So just thought maybe that would be a point of emphasis to remind everybody. But, it's also a privilege to serve in the position where, my ancestors were massacred at Bloody Island. And so it's called Bloody Island, but it was called Badunapati, which meant like an island city. The lands that we're on right now is actually, it would be referred to as Danoha, which means hills or mountain by the water. And so our lands from Robinson, most of the folks that are here have ancestral ties to Badunapati, Danoha, Shigam, which is Lucerne, and Blue Lakes, which is called Hilehina. And so we're all comprised of those different groups, and as a matter of fact, most tribes didn't necessarily have a specific place they were like, this is what we are, like how the mindset is now is a different paradigm. It wasn't nomadic either. I know a lot of people think and say that tribes were nomadic, but they were not. They were like, it was like having 2 or 3 homes, like a rich person. So in the winter they went somewhere, in the summer they went somewhere and gathered and whatnot. So it's just helpful, and I think that at times if I have opportunities like this, I like to just share that with everyone. And so, our people stewarded this land, and as you all know, you're going to probably learn some more about some of this coming up. Another point I'd like to make is that I actually grew up on this rancheria over the hill here on Manzanita Circle, and you've probably seen the scars in the hills of the fire that just happened a couple weeks back. Well, where it was, I guess it started was near the backyard where I grew up. And so my cousin who lives there, I felt bad for him because when I went there, the fence was burnt down, and I remember that fence. There was another fence there because my neighbor was so annoyed with us playing baseball in the backyard that he put up this old fence. So yeah, it's a lot of history here. I know that's short history because when we established in 1980 and then the houses were built in 88, it's not as far back as you think, but you feel like it is. And so I just like sharing these things. They can't hear me. Okay, well, how about now?
Is that better?
Sam, I'm used to Sam doing this. So. Yeah. So we have our cultural grounds are off behind the casino. We do conduct ceremony here. It's not roundhouse ceremony, but there are tribes that still do that, and there are 2 in my district at the Elam Indian Colony, where obviously all you will be talking about later is the Superfund site, right? And so 3 tribes in my district. You have Elam, you have Robinson, and you have Habe Matulel. So I know that's kind of hard to pronounce, but it's Habe Matulel. And so it's just like the park in Lakeport where they call it Habatin. A lot of people say Habatin or Kabatin, but if you're saying Kabatin, you're saying big spider. And one of the things, our casino was called Kabatin, and one of our relatives from another tribe would tease us about that. He's like, why'd you call yourself Big Spider Casino? So, I guess it's to lay out a web and catch all the money or whatever. I don't know. But, so yeah, I just wanted to share that. I think Jaime should be pulling up any minute, but again, I'm really honored that you all have a chance to come and share and be here where we're at, where my tribe, has been since time immemorial. I know we have a shoreline land as well where we do Shigam days. I would do a song, but I know Jaime's the one to do that. I don't know if any of you were at the Chabatin Park. If anybody was here, will you raise your hand? Did you see the dance that took place there? Yes, and so that's usually, one of the things about that ceremony at that time was all tribes from around the lake danced in one set, and commonly that doesn't happen, especially in big times. And if you're familiar with big times, they happen like in the back of the casino or Middletown, and it's usually the third week of September. Well, usually you have a set for each tribe and each group, and sometimes tribes have two different sets. So when that took place, it was really special for me to see, because all the years I've been here, I haven't seen that very often. I would say that when you think about rancherias and reservations, they're kind of aftermath of the treaty that wasn't ratified in 1851. And the treaty in 1851 that was done at the Lupiomia area, it was done by Reddick McKee. And in that, they made all sorts of concessions and agreements that the local leaders were willing to do, but it was never ratified. So in essence, when you really think about it, it was kind of like, okay, if you guys move, you'll get this, but it never happened. And the lands that would have entailed are south, like almost near Cobb, and all the way up to like Lake Pillsbury area. So that land would have been one giant reservation, like how they have Round Valley and whatnot. So just wanted to emphasize that, because a lot of people don't know that treaty was never ratified, and it was intended to be an agreement. And so a lot of times that's a misnomer or a misconception. So I think I've stalled enough. I don't know if he's here. He should. But yeah, I just appreciate you all being here. I hope what I've shared has helped. I hope that you feel welcome in my homelands and in my people's homelands, and know this is a real helpful thing for it, because we always want to steward and care for the land. The land is a living being. When we take from it for medicine or anything like that, we give back to the land. We give back to even a tree, even to an animal. So tobacco's given, or a song's given, or something like that. There's always reciprocation. And so that's a lot to think about at times. So anyhow, I appreciate you being here, and I apologize for going on. I thought I could make it happen, but yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out. But thank you.